As paving methods and equipment continue to improve, more and more major projects call for dowel bar reinforced highways and airport runways. In the past, the contractor has had two choices. He could use steel baskets carefully placed by hand, but they would sometimes shift position when the material was poured. Also, this prevented trucks from driving and dumping on the grade, so some type of placer spreader was needed. The other method was an automatic dowel bar inserter mounted on the rear of the paver. This, of course, disturbed the surface behind the paver, where it had to be re-smoothed partly by hand. CMI Corporation of Oklahoma City now gives the contractor a third option, an automated DBI, which is mounted in the center of the paver before the final smoothing is accomplished. This mid-mount DBI can be built into either the SF450B or SF550B slip-form pavers at the factory. It can also be added to older model 4-track pavers by modifying the frame. It sets a new standard in accuracy, automation, and smoothness of the finished road. Magazines are preloaded with 185 dowels each. One is mounted in the saddle brackets on the outside frame of the paver, and the others are placed along the roadbed where they will be needed. When a magazine is empty, the optional frame-mounted crane can remove it and install the next preloaded magazine in just a matter of minutes. This makes the entire operation self-sufficient. The operator releases one tier of dowels at a time as they're needed. The dowels are channeled into a stack above the loading wheel. As a slot becomes open in the wheel, another dowel drops into position. It's loaded into the first empty slot in the feeder chain, where it's carried across the machine and drops into the first open slot of the release mechanism. Each slot can hold up to 3 dowels, but releases only one at a time. This continuous distribution system is all automatic and remarkably trouble-free. It requires a minimum of manpower and is safer than older methods. Releasing of the bars is precisely controlled by a computerized programmable logic controller. It can be set for any amount of interval and can even release bars on a skew. At the designated point, the dowels are released onto the plastic surface. As the implanter frame reaches the dowels, it holds its position while vibrating forks do the rest. Vibration helps to ease the dowels into the proper depth and helps to close the holes as the forks are removed. As the paver continues, the extrusion and finishing section smooths out any irregularities and completes the paving operation. This graphic shows a comparison of the rear mount DBI and the CMI mid-mount unit. The rear mount machine starts with the auger, strike-off, tamping bar, and profile pan. Then comes the DBI system. An oscillating correcting beam is added in an attempt to refinish the surface, and sometimes an optional float finisher is used. Compare this with the mid-mount system. The front section consists of auger, metering strike-off, vibrators, and elevation control strike-off. The DBI system comes next, and then the final section, consisting of a surface vibrator, tamping bar, profile pan, float pan, and possibly a float finisher. Innovative thinking at CMI has again solved a tough problem with imagination. The mid-mount DBI system provides contractors with a new tool to do the job better, faster, and consequently at a lower operating cost. And as usual, CMI machines are built to last. Innovation, efficiency, and customer support are what CMI is all about.